Okay, I'm gonna turn the mic on now. There was a reason it was off, but we're gonna go ahead and turn it back on now.
Cool.
So, hello everybody. And
Hello everybody.
In case anyone hasn't figured it out yet, I'm drawing Adrian.
Bitches, I'm back.
Yay! Right in time for me to turn the mics on, too.
Fantastic.
I swear that was not on purpose. I literally just got
I know, you have impeccable timing. I love it. But anyway, we were talking about children, and what was the thing again, Abigail? Read it. Teaching kindergartners is actually like being an ambassador.
Teaching kindergarten is like being an ambassador to beings from another planet and teaching them how to assimilate to our culture.
Yes. That is so accurate that it's not even funny. It's actually hilarious, but yes.
It's fantastically hilarious, but it is so accurate.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, holy butt nuggets is that fucking... Like, here's the whole thing where my son just randomly, decided apparently that he was a nudist that particular day, and he got up before everybody else. He went downstairs, and just so happened our friend Sam... Hello! His friend Sam was sleeping on the floor on the couch cushions. And so he went downstairs, took his diapers off, shit all over the goddamn couch, and then crouched like a little naked gargoyle above our friend until he woke the fuck up, which caused our friend to scream. Not that I can blame him any. I mean, he wasn't used to living around children, so, you know, this is the way of things when,
oh, I can't breathe.
Kids.
Maybe you should turn the mics back off. Oh god. Thank you for the follow, Calamity. This is the kind of random content you can expect to hear from us.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I'm not. That's glorious. Do it again.
My kids did some of the fucking craziest shit, though. Like,
Oh
the time
god.
where the eldest decided that sugar was obviously play sand.
Obviously play sand?
Obviously play sand.
Oh god.
And so that was the reason that we ended up. Hi. I'm telling tales about you from when you were little. Oh, by the way, also you need to start actually going to your 6th period class. And if you are going to your 6th period class, you need to go to it on time, because I'm getting news from the school now about you missing 6th period.
I'd say that you're probably working it right at this point anyway. I can see you chatting and all that. If you're wondering about the talking, I actually have a Discord server, and whenever I go on stream, I hop in the voice channel of the Discord server, and everyone kind of joins in, and we all just sort of talk while I'm doing the art and stuff. If you would like to join us, I can send you a link to my Discord.
Do not have to be crazy to join. We will drive you crazy in record time.
Oh yeah, yeah. Don't worry. If you're not already there, we'll get you there. You'll probably have fun getting there, though, so no worries.
I drive the bus.
Yeah. Usually not over the cliff edge, but we survive every time anyway.
Special ed class at this point.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Donna, you should probably do the thing. Okay, give me just a second here, Calamity.
Go to IXL. Like, no, I have to work on this because it's a failing fucking brain.
Michael.
Donna, if it's midnight, go to fuck to sleep.
I know. She's been trying to go to sleep earlier lately too. You can run both Discord and Twitch from a phone. Yes, you can. You can get the Twitch app off of the Play Store, I believe, just like any other app. And you can do it through browser on the phone, but I recommend having the app instead. And Discord, also, you can get the app on your phone as well. In fact, I don't know if I've ever tried to run Discord on browser on the phone, but you can get the Discord app as well. If you just go into Play Store, just look up Discord, look up Twitch, you'll see them pop right up, and they're free to download. I'm going to send you this link, though, via Tumblr.
Oh yay, we get a new bitch.
Affectionate. That's affectionate Calamity.
Which is my by his goodness.
This is how Pharaoh speaks, or Satan, as known in the server. This is Satan, by the way. You have been introduced.
Not today, Satan.
Yes, today,
Not
Satan.
today. Not today. Just so you know.
Well,
And of course, the noisy kitten isn't down here, so I can't like pick him up and give us some actual songs of their people.
Yeah.
All right, I sent it your way. But yes, go to sleep, Donna. Do the sleepies.
Yeah, Donna. Silly thing.
Oh yeah, pollinating. Ugh. That we do. What animal is it? Who knows? Usually a cat, but be prepared for anything.
so I can go out there to the ducks and chickens.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get something to eat and stuff myself silly for the next few hours because I can't have anything until tomorrow after my surgery. And I'm pretty sure I ain't gonna want to eat much then either.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. Generally speaking, that tends to kind of mess with the appetite.
So I love how of everyone, it's like Darius and Ozrin, I think, who are looking like the baddest bitches, I think. Because Darius is going to be in the middle here looking like he's about to bring the rain or some shit. Like,
I can make several remarks. Just so you're aware.
Okay, so guys, the person I keep calling Calamity is literally Calamity everywhere else. I'm not going to say their Discord name, but that's the person who just joined.
You know,
Bitch.
There you go.
Wait, up your girl or boy or something in between. Hi, bitch, bro, or non-binary hoe.
You know what? I think braids is a better idea, actually. I was gonna give him dreads, but braids actually I think would be prettier. Darius like being pretty too.
well, he tried.
Pretty sure Adrian's the one braiding his damn hair too, so.
Oh yeah, I can imagine that. So apparently, I have a pair of jeans that I need to fix tonight.
Oh.
Honestly, though, I'm gonna wash them first.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. Why am I fucking fixing these? Your fucking crotch is about to blow out in these fuckers.
Blow out the crotch, would you? Darius also wears women's heels when he feels like it, unabashedly.
Hey, that's fair.
Cause...
Let them wear whatever the fuck they want.
Mm-hmm. This is one thing, like, it's so funny. I haven't talked a whole lot about Darius and Adrian in this AU just yet, but it's so much fun with it. Like, they're the bad bitches of the whole thing.
They're the ones going, there's a basic bitch, which is you, and then there's bad bitches, which is me.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna give you Lurker just to start you off, or I should say Gremlin, no Goblin.
Yeah, now I have food ready.
Woohoo!
Oh. That's
Oh.
an interesting concept.
What?
You can bring dead people to life again, but for every person you bring back, you have to sacrifice one body part.
Oh.
Neat. Plucks out another hair. Statistically, technically counts. But I really think you're not getting into the Me ceremonially sacrifices hair. Very seriously.
Very seriously.
Sadistic genie. Like, one time, just once, could you give me a toe or a finger or something? Me. Oh, like how you so graciously go by what people mean and not exactly how they phrase things?
Mm-hmm.
That genie left a loophole a mile wide.
That's funny.
Yeah, let me just get the toenail clippers out.
Right?
Let's see, how am I gonna resurrect this person?
There is a person named or goes by the username Calamity Coyote 94 on Tumblr, now on Twitch, and on. I know it's Calamity Coyote. I don't know if the 94 is there on AO3, but either way, Calamity Coyote, and then the Discord name, which I don't know how if they want it blurted out on live, so I'm gonna go ahead and just say Discord name is this.
Sorry.
I'm gonna go ahead and keep calling them Calamity until otherwise noted. I think they're having some issues though, because on Twitch said, hang on, everything went quiet, and now Calamities straight up went quiet. Oh, there they are.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, wait.
Alrighty.
No, not at this time anyway. At least not that I'm aware of.
Rural Outfitters. Is that in here? Yes.
So on Discord, what you got to do, you are in the right area to type for what's being talked, but you see where it says general down here in this section? Just straight up it says general, and you see all those little bubbles. If you tap that thing that says general, that is the actual voice channel. It should ask you if you would like to join voice, and then you will be able to talk and hear us. You're probably hearing us right now on Twitch. So what it is when you go to speak on Discord, right, you'll probably want to mute Twitch.
Yee.
Yeah. Because what it is I'm streaming on Twitch, and everyone can hear, what's being said on my end, but there's no way for people on Twitch to actually... Oh, no, you're perfectly fine. You have any idea how all the fuck over place my streams usually are? They're crazy. But anyway, I have forgotten how to do skeletons and anatomy anyway, because Darius' body here just looks like shit, and I have to erase it anyway. But the point is... with Twitch, because it's a creator streaming to an audience, the audience can only participate via the chat function, right? Which is why I have my Discord where I'll get on and chat with everyone that I'm talking with. And the thing is everyone who is the audience on Twitch can hear that, but because they're not in Discord, they can't join via actually speaking. So it's probably a bit of a weird setup, but nevertheless, that's how we get a myriad of conversations without actually having any vocal participation from Twitch specifically, because it's not set up that way. Let me see if I can remember how to do skeletons. Body things. I'm having a hard time drawing today anyway, so this is a fine distraction, and this is okay.
Wait, I know for a fact that I downloaded that. Where the fuck did it download to?
Maybe I should go from the other direction.
Did I not download it? I forgot to download it. Shit. Okay, I have to go back to PTK. God damn it. Son of a bitch.
Just let me know what's up. We're right here for assistance.
Oh, I remember why I didn't do that. It's because I couldn't figure out what the frig was supposed to be actually replaced. Okay, cool. We're good. Updating. Why do I have 2 copies of updating?
It might even be helpful for you. I'm not entirely sure. Because the Twitch stream's just going to keep going anyway. It might be helpful for you. Oh, okay. See you, Hollow.
Hi,
Have fun.
Hollow.
It could be helpful if you just wait, it also depends on how you're looking. I don't know if you got everything going on your phone. Because you'll be able to actually see me drawing on Twitch as well because I am screen sharing. Sorry, drawing on Discord as well because I'm screen sharing on Discord. So, because I'm doing everything from a computer. So for me, it's a lot easier, I guess you could say, to have multiple things going on. So it might be easier for you, Calamity, if you actually close Twitch out on your phone and focus strictly on Discord, and then just tap the general channel to actually get in audio-wise, and then from there you'll be able to see that there's a screen share going, and you'll be able to actually still see what I'm drawing.
Free love.
I just realized Darius probably needs to be taller than this.
Be just a bit.
Maybe.
Wedding tweets I haven't downloaded yet.
Actually, I need to make Adrian shorter is what it is. Adrian's only 5'10", ordinarily, unless he's wearing his heels. And his heels aren't that tall that are making him that much taller. Or bigger.
Okay, so I do need wedding tweaks. And sleep in the wedding, okay.
I really am having like a heck of a time drawing today. I'd say these are 4-inch heels, so this is probably going to get him to, could be 4.5 inch.
Okay.
He's also got big feet.
But,
That's more accurate, okay. Darius is 6 feet even.
Wedding tweaks.
Okay. Yeah, that looks all kinds of dumb. Why can't I... Blech. Man, I'm having fucking problems today. Let's try it like this, shall we?
Wedding tweaks. Done.
It just occurred to me with the way that I have this height scale thing going, it looks a little bit like everyone's standing in the middle of a lineup.
Sound pretty well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. All except for Faust, Bump, and Tara. They look like they're just straight up hanging out. Which is great, since Faust and Bump are the cops.
Works out really, really well.
It was not intentional.
Yeah.
Absolutely unintentional.
Hanging out, hanging with the best friend and the tea shop owner, and the rest are standing in a lineup.
Yep.
Okay, Miss Tara, which one tried to break into your shop this time and did not get shot?
And did not get shot being the key word there. Wow, man. There are... It's great because all there are, like, even less basic lines than, like, what we've got going on for Adrian, right? And I'm just sitting here like, there's so much wrong here already. I'm so aggravated right now.
This is why I don't...
What?
This is why I do not draw people.
Yeah.
I will look at it and go, fuck.
It's so wrong.
Yeah. The short story that I keep coming across clips of, posted on Tumblr, of aliens trying to invade Earth. And they land in Australia.
And they land in Australia. Oh boy.
Oh, that one's so good. I think I've seen that before. It's so good.
Yeah. First they encountered the emus.
Oh lord.
Well, they got fucked
And
off.
then the kangaroos.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
that's
he was with, Earth's weather. During the
Yeah,
summer,
they
I
got
think
fucked.
this was set.
great. There we are. There's Calamity.
My God. Long.
What is up?
Now make sure to mute Twitch because you'll get echoes.
I'm not smart about these things.
It's okay.
It's genuinely okay, dude.
We are all technologically impaired in some form or fashion. Okay, maybe not all of us.
I have no excuses.
But hello.
Hello.
Very nice to hear you.
Nice to hear you too.
Yeah. I'm having a heck of a
Hello,
time
you
today.
bitch.
Say what?
Yourself.
Affectionate.
Hi. My name's Michaela. I'm new here.
Hello. Well, keep in mind, I can always probably edit that part out, but do you mind being called by that name, or?
It's fine either way. Calamity's also fine.
Okay. Michaela Calamity.
Or Coyote.
Or Coyote.
Forget to call you the correct name, so I will probably continue to call you Calamity, and then probably Michaela, and then probably Calamity again, and then I will think that both of those names are different people.
I am here to confuse.
That's right. You
I
fit right in.
absolute shit remember names. The only name I actually remember most of the time is Lynn, and that's because, well, look at her screen name. I still call Shay because I literally forgot your real name, hun. Sorry.
I prefer to go by Shay anyway, so it's okay. Now it works out just fine.
Actually, I'm gonna upset you here, Farrell. Lynn's not my real name.
Well, Frankie's not mine either, so fuck off.
Ernest is my middle name, so you're calling me part of my name, but it is also the name that I prefer to go to. Like, I would go by Lynn in real life as well, so...
Well, if it makes y'all feel better, Frankie isn't actually my first name either, so...
I know your first name. I've just never used it because I never had any indicator that it was good to go to use. So,
I mean, you can use it, but most of the time, if you do, I'm probably going, "Oh shit, what did I do?"
that's I did something wrong. Name. That's what that is.
It is. Like, I did not know that was my actual fucking name until like 7th grade, and that's because I had to transfer schools.
Ow. That's great.
That
I
does
love
not
that.
surprise me.
That's
Actually,
fantastic.
knowing your parents the way I do at this point.
Your parent had a preferred name.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, I was doing good if I remembered what my damn nickname was. All right, they called me all sorts of shit.
We were also nickname-centric creatures at my house, so going by other names is not difficult in my brain because that was very much so. You could call me anything but late for dinner, sort of thing.
Oh my god! I just realized Darius is doing the Terra pose. Y'all can't see it because I haven't drawn it out because I'm mad at my brain right now. But he's doing the Terra pose with his arm tucked in, and he's like framing his jaw with his hand.
Like when she's about ready to start dancing.
Or when she's about ready to start some shit. No, I'm just kidding.
Is Tara ever not about ready to start some shit? I've not specified a time here, dear.
I know.
Tara is always ready to start some shit.
As the token terror writer here, I probably should shut up about that.
To be fair, I like Tara in my stuff too.
Yeah.
Not as much as you do, or as central as you do, but I do write her in my stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I just realized?
What?
We have a new person, therefore I should probably tell my Grandma Betty story.
I'd love to hear the story.
Tell the Grandma Betty story. This directly relates to Tara, okay?
This is specifically because of Tara. So, Shay and I both kind of relate Tara as being similar to our own. I think both of us. It's our maternal grandmother.
Yes, both of us. It's our maternal grandmothers.
Both of us
Yes,
have a maternal grandmother who Tara reminds us of, and
which is why I can't ever hate her. Like, unless she actually commits murder, I can't hate her. And my grandmother
Even though
may have, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. She was
This
mixed.
is recorded.
You know what? She's dead now. It doesn't matter. She was mixed in with the mob. Okay, like she was quite literally mixed in with the mob. If she committed murder, I would not be surprised. Anyway, please continue, Lynn.
My grandmother was a character, for sure. One day, I was at home, and this is when I'm in high school. Now, when my grandmother first moved in, my mom came to each of us in the house and goes, "Do you mind if Grandma Betty comes and moves in with us?" And I looked at my mother and I said, "Ma, you and Grandma Betty can't stand each other." She's like, "Well, no, this is my house, so it will, it'll be different because it's my house and she's gonna have to live by my rules.
Oh,
This
God.
isn't gonna be her house and her rules." And I looked at her and I go, "Mom, look, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm not gonna tell you I told you so later. You and Grandma Betty get along like cats in a sack. There's no way in the world that this is gonna end well. But you know what? Do what you want. It's not gonna give me any. It's not gonna hurt me any. I do not have a problem with Grandma Betty living here, so long as she stays out of my shit." Okay, no problem. Don't worry. You'll see. You'll see. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So one day, after months and months of this 1 month stay that my grandmother Betty was going to have, she comes home. We got her out of the house to do a freaking interview so that she can get a job, so she can get her own place. And so she's been out at this interview, and she comes home. My stepdad is hosing down the driveway, and I'm sitting on the patio, just hanging out, waiting for time to pass because I was going to go pick up my boyfriend from work after he was off work, which my boyfriend at the time was now my husband now. And Grandma Betty comes in, she pulls in, she comes out, and my stepdad looks over at her and goes, "Oh, Betty, how'd your interview go?" And she looks at my stepdad, who is a very conservative, very, very prim, proper Catholic boy. Looks at him and she goes, "Oh, it went fantastic. I feel like I could fuck 10 men." And she just drops that bomb. "I feel like I could fuck 10 men." And keeps fucking walking. Just goes right in the goddamn house like she said nothing weird.
Oh, God, I love Grandma
My
Betty.
stepdad, and I go, "I'm gonna go to Chris's house." He just shook his head.
Oh, man.
This is the same woman who, at one point in time, I don't remember if this was before or after that particular event, but my mom cut herself washing a steak knife, and my mom passes out at the sight of blood.
Oh, boy.
Specifically hers or my sister's or mine. She can barrel down and help with pretty much anybody else, but one of us three, ooh boy, that's bad stuff. And so she inches the wound closed underneath the water, screams to me, "Go get your stepdad!" So I stick my head out the door and I scream for him because, of course, he's somewhere on the property, but it's a half an acre property, so God only knows where the fuck the man is. So I reach out, scream out. Well, while I'm screaming, Mom decides that, oh, this doesn't actually feel that bad. And so she carefully pulls it up and checks and puts her thumb back over it. Oh, it's not that bad. I'm okay. So I pull my head back in to turn around and look at her and swing the door closed, but I forget to move my goddamn foot.
Oh, I hate this story.
Huh? I do too. I hated living this story. This story sucked. I ripped my toenail 75% off.
Jeez.
100% off, 75% off. And somewhere in the 75-80%. And so there's still a chunk of toenail that's still attached, but the rest of it is flapped. So I scream, I fall down, my stepdad comes in, my mom's screaming, I'm bleeding a little bit, she's bleeding a little bit, everything is kind of fucking crazy right now. Stepdad runs in, "What the fuck is going on?" So Mom has completely forgotten about her injury. It wasn't bleeding that badly anyways. So they get me up, they get me into the living room where the best light in the house is at this time of day. And him, and of course my sister was home, so my sister has come out to see what all the screaming is about. And so the three, they got me with my foot up on the end of the couch, and all three of them are crowded around my foot, trying to trim off the excess of this toenail, which of course is incredibly painful.
Oh
and
my god, just do
incredibly
that with your teeth.
Yeah, it's not nice. It's a not nice situation. My grandmother comes home, and she goes, "What's going on?" My mom goes, "She ripped her toenail up." And, she is absolutely beside herself, all upset. She's and my grandmother, calm as you fucking please, goes, "Oh, here you go, dear." She walks around to me, hands me a stick of Big Red, and walks the fuck off. Another piece of gum, honey. Now here's the fun part. I'm allergic to red food dye.
Oh.
And she handed me a stick of Big Red. My mom, my stepdad's still concentrating on my foot. My mom looks up, looks at my sister, looks back at my foot because she's not gonna bother with it. My sister looks at me and goes, "That Big Red?" I go, "Yeah, you want it?" She goes, "Yeah." I mean, if she was trying to confuse me so much that my foot stopped hurting for a second, she succeeded. I think it was her intent.
That's what sisters are for.
No, grandmothers. That's what the grandma
Grandmothers.
did.
My sister ate the stick of gum that I can't eat. She saved me from red food dye. But my grandmother, she just handed me a stick of fucking gum.
Just, oh my god.
For the injury of ripping your toenail up, I got prescribed a stick of gum. Grandma, that
I
was
carry you all the way to the hospital.
Don't worry about the fact that, child is bleeding or anything. Just give her a stick of gum.
A stick of gum, she'll be fine.
She's fine. Just put a Band-Aid on it. Everything's good. Don't let her bleed on the towels. That was another thing my grandmother did. This is part of the reason why my grandmother was not my mother's friend.
Yeah.
My mom broke her arm as a small child.
Oh dear.
So she was riding bike, flung herself off the bike, broke her arm, but only cracked it halfway. So if she held her arm one direction, her arm would be fine. If she turned her arm over, the arm would keep going.
Oh.
So it was really bad. It was really bad. And there was some blood. She was bloody from skimming her, from getting road rash and shit like that.
Right.
So my uncle brought her home, and they had to be very careful. But my grandfather got home and pretty much freaked out because neither of them knew what they should do, and they hadn't done anything. One of the things that my grandmother was very insistent on was don't get blood on the towels. And so they didn't wrap up my mother's arm.
Oh my god.
So my grandfather went, "Fuck that noise." He grabbed a towel and wrapped up my mom's arm, and he took her to the fucking hospital. When my grandmother got home after my mother had gotten a cast, she yelled at him for getting blood on her towels. Grandma Betty? Wow. Honestly? Fuck off.
Just fuck off.
All the way off on that one, Grandma Betty. You are definitely the villain in this story, Grandma Betty.
Yeah.
My grandma didn't even use the word fart. All right, she was one of those prim and proper ladies. Got yelled at by her daddy for dyeing her hair because that's what harlots did.
Oh god.
But she was a nurse, so she would mercilessly rip the cactus out of you if you fell into some cactus. I've broken my arm twice, but the first time it was at my friend's house, and they didn't think I broke my arm because all my friends were boys, and I wasn't crying, so that not have been so bad. But it was never so bad as I saw my arm move like that. It was just bad enough that I could barely open and close my fist. I didn't cry. I got tripped on one time, and then I tripped over some cement, so it wasn't a cool story.
Yeah.
Ow. Big ow.
It was not nice, ow. But I did watch my friend, they broke their arm from falling out of a tree, and it was not pretty. It was 90-degree angles.
Ow. I was just thinking about that one. I need some water now. Yes, broken arms. Let's fix that with water.
Oh yeah, hydration. It's very important.
Big red and water, that's how you fix your injuries. Oh, man. But anyway, yes, that's her Grandma Betty. Mine was actually Grandma Dorothy.
Hey, my grandma's name was Dorothy.
Yeah. Now, she went by Dottie or Dot, but mostly
Yes,
Dottie. And,
that's how they do.
Yup. And she was the she very clearly had no issues with, you know, having male friends.
Cool.
To put it mildly, her 3 daughters are all from 3 different fathers. No matter what she says, she went to her grave saying that the father of her second child was the father of her first child being my mom. Everyone knew she was lying. But anyway, like I said, she was absolutely mixed up with the mob because she worked in Las Vegas in the 50s or 40s or whatever. In the time period that I'm drawing is when my grandmother worked in Vegas. So she was absolutely mixed up with the mob. And she was the kind, like...
I'm gonna be right back.
Okay. She had no problems lying. She had no problems cheating, whatever the cheating would be. She had no problems stealing. And she would even do that from family members. Here's the one thing that I respected about her, though, is that A, she didn't hide the fact. So, like, she didn't pretend, she wasn't one of those, I'm gonna hide behind a Bible and then have the knife behind my back kind of people. That's just the way she was. And she was not apologetic for it. She made no qualms about it. This is the way she was, and if you chose to deal with her, that was you. Like, you knew what you was getting into, kind of situation.
Find out.
Exactly. And so that was the thing. Like, you could either choose to deal with her or choose not to. And the thing is she wasn't necessarily disrespectful either. Like, she you know, she was a bitch, sure, but like she was respectable to be around even. Again, you know, she was one of the mob types, okay? So there's a little bit of something there. Like, and then another thing is she, as much as she would lie to family or steal from family or whatever, she also still had your back, though. Which is just such a weird dichotomy, quite frankly. But she absolutely had your back if you needed something. So, like, she was a weird person, to be quite honest. But, and, like, I have more fond memories of her than I do my dad's mom. Let's put it that way. And if I, like, had to choose to, like, if my dad's, you know, like, I apologize, but if my dad's mom died tomorrow and I had to, like, I had the option to bring one of those 2 back, I'd bring back Dorothy. So, like, I'm sorry. Like, it was just a weird thing, you know, like, it was, she was a weird person, but, like, she still had love, she still cared about her family, even if it was in the weirdest fucking way, and, you know, it was just one of those things. And like I said, or like me and Lynn have both said, that's who Canon Tara reminds us of. And so we have a real hard time being legitimately, like, angry with Canon Tara because she just makes the sake of our family. And the thing being, like, even though they had their problems, they still were there for you, kind of thing. So that's kind of the vibe that we get off of her. Now, that said, I think it's pretty clear at this point, I have my own version of Tara, that is not actually really anything at all like my grandmother. Aside from the didn't mind having a lot of male friends situation. But anyway, there are things that I've picked up on in the show and stuff that have led me to certain deductions and conclusions that I'm just sort of running with. If these are accurate to canon, we will probably never know, since the show is canceled and we're going to have the end of it in, like, less than 2 weeks. So, all that good mess.
Just have to choose that reality and make my own.
Exactly.
That's why we write and that's why we read.
Exactly. That is what I have said several times, that I reject the reality of canon and I substitute my own of AT, which is just as problematic, but in a different way. That said, real quick, Calamity, I gave you the goblin roll just to give you a role so you could actually interact. But if you want to check out the roles and tell me what roles you would like to have, I can get those assigned for you.
Oh my gosh, now I gotta navigate the Discord again.
If you want, just go all the way to the top and look in rules. The roles are right there at the bottom.
All right. I'll get there eventually. I'm here.
Yes, there's a lot of sections and channels. The 2 channels below rules is server layout, if that will help you. I literally wrote that up because it's like, okay, there's a lot of stuff here. I know how everything works, but let me go ahead and line that out just in case some people might need some assistance. I'm going to do my best to not add any more channels. We ended up adding another channel shortly after I wrote that list up.
This is amazing. You have many of the abilities of a Disney princess. You can talk to animals, people burst into song around you, and it seems every other day a Prince Charming type falls madly in love with you. As one of the most feared mafia enforcers in New York, it's tough, but you make it work.
Ooh, I know that one.
Oh man, I love that.
Add on.
How did you know? He squeals on his knees and shaking. Your finger tightens on the trigger. A little birdie told me.
Oh man, that's fucking great. Adrian. Oh man. Okay, anyway. Alright, we're gonna need a vote with the people here, I guess. Should Adrian have long hair or not?
Yes.
You haven't. I don't know much about your version of Adrian personally.
Well, so this is the Mob versus Law AU, right? So, like, you'll find it if you start reading around, but essentially he's been described as, well, I'm not going to say it on stream because I think hopefully we weren't actually on stream when I said that earlier. I don't know, maybe we were. But the point is, it's the 1950s, so there's a word or a phrase you could say that's being used to describe Adrian that's really not kind. And so essentially he's an extremely effeminate man. And he'll even wear dresses. But he wears women's heels. He'll do his face up. He wears men's clothes very inappropriately for the way men of the time wore clothes. And basically what I'm getting at is if he doesn't have long hair, that he will style as he sees fit, which would include feminine styles as well. Then he has short hair but wears wigs. And I'm just trying to figure out which he actually has, and I honestly don't know, because the reality is with this version of Adrian, it could be both. It could be either or. So that's why I put it up to a vote. I'm like, hey guys, what do you think? I bet you if Lynn was here, she'd say long hair too, because that's kind of the way we are with our long-haired peeps.
Yep, long hair.
I mean, I have long hair, so.
Right?
I have short hair and I'm voting long hair.
And the funny thing is remember when we had the discussion when I was drawing Vidimir and I was going on about the whole that anime overdone anime character with that stupid long hair, and then I'm like, okay, I realized that a majority of my males I have a large percentage of males with long hair in this. That has grown now at this point, because Darius has long hair, and now Adrian probably has long hair. I think there's more males with long hair than not, actually, now that I think about it. Hold on, let me get in here. Viddy's got long hair. Osrin's got long hair. Bump has long hair. And now both Adrian and Darius probably have long hair. Yeah, there's more of the cast of male body part owners that have long hair than not.
Oddly, Everett has short hair.
I know. I almost put Eber with long hair, actually, but then when I got this particular lineage done, I'm like, oh, hey, you know what? That looks really good. I like that. It also kind of makes sense that he'd have short hair simply because he is known as the his crew is the more wild and animalistic type of the mob, the gangs or mobs or whatever, and they'll just go apeshit on you. Like, you really don't want to piss Eber and his crew off. As you can see, he's holding quite a friendly implement here. So they're not afraid to go ham. So, and they will. And Eber is he will jump on you. So, like, it probably makes sense that he'd rather have short hair, actually, because then he can keep it out of his way.
Yeah.
And then for anyone who's not aware, Vitamir is known as the Boom Boss. Okay. It took a little bit longer for him to become a mob boss, I guess, than the others possibly, because he's kind of a short, scrawny guy. But his love and knowledge of chemicals really came in handy finally, and that he's got a lot of scars and stuff from like when he wasn't higher up on the totem pole. But like he basically made everyone regret that, and he hides explosive materials in his clothes in undisclosed locations, and has a flask of acid somewhere in there as well. Also has toothpicks that may or may not be poisoned at any given time. And, be polite, because he's been known to literally just take a toothpick out of his mouth and poke your hand, and then you either pass out or you die. So, like... don't piss off the Boom Boss. Really don't piss off any of these bosses, quite frankly. But yeah, he'll make things go exploding.
Who would think it's a good idea to piss off somebody who carries acid and explosions with them everywhere?
Right, exactly. And poison blades.
That too.
So.
Like, you don't piss off the guy holding the ammunition or the TNT. What the hell?
Why would you do that? That is dumb. That is so very dumb. Yes. Or, the gremlin man who is carrying his own claws. Like, that's probably not a great idea. Or the old World War II vet nurse, who really is doctor level, let's be real, her and her crew, they know how to kill you and make it look like a heart attack. You really definitely don't want to do that.
Air shot between the toes,
right? And then Mason, who obviously these three aren't fully drawn just yet, but Mason is like the old school mafia godfather type boss. He's been around for fucking ever. His stretch is like from New York to Las Vegas kind of guy. Very kind of sort of unassuming when you first see him, honestly. Like, you don't like look at him immediately and be like, oh hey, wait a minute. But when you realize who he is, it's a little intimidating for a lot of people, except the people in Chicago, which is where this is based, because it's just a madhouse there. And that's one of his pet peeves, is that he doesn't have the same kind of control or influence in Chicago as he does other places, because everyone works a little differently there. And then of course you have Osrin, who is the opium lord of Oshida, from India. And he makes everybody question if they have made the right decisions in life. So pretty much. And then in the Mob vs. Law AU, we come in story where Bump is actually the chief of police now. But originally it was Faust, but in story where we pick up everything, Faust had retired 2 years ago and has actually sort of dropped off the face of the earth. Ain't nobody actually know where Faust is right now. But he, be that as it may, he was, and now he's gone. So Bump is the chief of police, and he is wrangling the likes of Rain and Ida, who are his detectives. And they do a good job, don't get me wrong, but they are the wily ones. That is absolutely for sure. And the basically it opens up with them with Rain and Ida working on a case. And yes, Ida is a woman on the force, because she decided she wasn't gonna let nobody tell her what to do, and she just happened to choose the right fucking precinct, because Faust was pretty much the only guy who was probably going to give her a chance, honestly, and he's pretty glad that he did. And Bump is too, later on, of course. But anyway, and so Rain and Ida are basically checking out some shit, and it kind of leads them down some rabbit holes. or some dead ends, I should say, at first. But then it leads them to Tara, and the thing with Tara is in case it hasn't been obvious yet, Faust being a former chief of police, Bump being chief of police, they are obviously on the police side, aka Rain and Nita are on the police side, right? And then everyone else is either mafia or gang related in some way. So the interesting part is Tara is neither. However, some would consider her both, but she is neither. So she isn't actually part of the gangs or part of the mobs, but she also doesn't like do anything for the police either. She's not like a plant or a snitch or something like that. Like she basically, her deal is she is in this one little section of town where she owns a tea shop and then several apothecaries and essentially owns this particular street. So like this street right here, most of the buildings and everything are hers, and she basically just sort of owns the area, honestly. And again, she's kind of neither. She doesn't actually get on the wrong side of the law. She's never been arrested for anything, but she doesn't ever seem to get on the wrong side with the mob either. So it's one of those interesting situations where she seems to be walking a line, and sometimes people aren't sure exactly what to peg her for or where to peg her, but then you got people, specifically quote her people, who are absolutely loyal to her in every sense of the word. So the question is, like, what's going on here? A lot of people actually do have an idea of what's going on, but everyone sort of keeps mum about it, which is an interesting thing all on its own. But anyway, leads them to Tara, and they have some questions for her, and she doesn't really answer them. Because of course she doesn't. She does, however, point them in a particular direction, which leads them down some more rabbit holes. But that's all I'm going to say for now before I actually get too far into it. Because, yeah, I need to start writing that out. But yeah, no, a lot of fun. A lot of fun we're having so far with this. And I'm looking at this thinking, hey, wait, I think I need to readjust their heights again. At least in regard to this scale. Hold on, just a second. I'm going to make an adjustment. So I've just realized that I've fucked around with how the scales work. The back scaling is working. They're also not standing like they're in a lineup, so that probably is another reason why I'm having issues with where they're actually standing.
Isn't Tara supposed to be a little shorter anyways?
Well, she's also got her heels on.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually did shorten her up based on, like this is what made me say in server what her revised height was.
I think you said she's 5 foot.
Actually, she's 5'3". She's 5'3".
No.
Because originally she was 5'5", and then once I did the adjustments on the proportions and the heights in this picture, then I realized, oh shit, she's actually shorter than that. That was another thing we had a lot of fun with, was how tall everybody is or how big everybody is. Because Faust is basically the biggest bastard on the block. He's like 6'7". He's 6'7" and built like a tank, although a very, finely tuned tank, I guess you could say. And the only person who's probably broader than he is Mason, but Mason's 5'5". So,
he's a little stack.
He's a what?
Little shit stack.
Yeah, pretty much. And then another thing that made me giggle was that Bump is 6'1", and that makes me giggle simply because I don't actually think he's quite that tall in canon, which it's hard to tell because it's a cartoon, and they're never very, very consistent. Although, me personally, considering that he slouches the way he does, I think maybe he could in fact be fairly tall. It's just that because of his hunch that he's got and the slouch that he does, he just doesn't seem like it. But anyway, he stands at full height in this AU, and he's 6'1", and that makes me giggle. And here's why: because Philip is also in this AU. He's actually the mayor of the city. You can tell how bad that's probably going to end up being. But anyway, and he is 5'11". And it just makes me giggle that Bump is taller than that asshole. He actually will wear. He will make a point to wear, like the type of men's heels that they could get away with at those times to make themselves taller. So he'll wear like 1-inch heels, like, and then 1.5 and like 2 inches, like when it comes to like official functions stuff. Like in other words, he clearly, if anyone looks down, they're pretty sure that it's really obvious that he's like trying to make himself taller, which is just funny. But anyway, so he's 6'1". The only person, oh yeah, and then Osrin is actually really tall for an Indian man, at like 6'5", 6'4", 6'5". How tall is he? Yeah, 6'4". So we got the tall people right here, and then the really funny part is Tara is actually like knows Bump and Faust pretty well. And because again, like with her, she seems to walk that line, right? So the police, while the police know her and talk to her a lot, and it's kind of one of those things where people wonder how much information she gives away while realizing she's actually not giving away a whole lot of information. But she, again, like she's in an interesting spot, and you know, people respect her because she actually knows a lot, and considering how much she knows, the fact that there's not a lot happening with that. In other words, like there's people who could be going to jail based on what she knows, but she hasn't like ratted them out, kind of thing. And then there's some people who have gone to jail specifically because she has, but the thing is everybody wanted those people gone anyway. So like it's one of those kind of situations, right? But anyway, the point is she was 5'5" originally in my thought, in my head, in my process, which made her slightly above average for the times. But now she's like 5'3" without her heels, and it's just funny to me because she's basically she's hanging with the tall people, and that's just what makes it funny to me. But anyway, and then the same with like these ones. So Vitamir's like not a very big person, height or otherwise. He's like, what was it we determined with him? 5. Yeah, him and he and
He's just like
he and Tara.
5'7", but he's flatters a lot.
No, it was 5'7", then I realized that's wrong because he is supposed to be shorter. Him and Tara are actually the same height. He's 5'3". And then Eber is like 4'11" or 4'10". I can't remember right now.
He's the same size as the teenagers.
Yeah, he's small man. Yeah, he only looks taller because of his shoes. And then Hetty's a big girl at 6'1". And then again with Mason, he's all 5'5", and then Darius at 6 feet even, and then Adrian at 5'10". But both of them will wear heels a lot, so because they don't care. And that's the thing with Darius and Adrian actually, because Darius, I don't know if I've said this on stream or anywhere else, but Darius runs the quote gentleman's club. I don't know when the term gentleman's club became actually like in use for this sort of thing, but regardless, that's actually what he calls it in the deal. A club for gentlemen, so therefore it has become known as a gentleman's club, but it's a gentleman's club that everybody knows about that nobody talks about. It is also neutral ground, which means it doesn't matter what affiliation you have or how many letters you have behind your name or in front of your name, you do not start shit at the club. And so that's an interesting position to be in as well. And especially because if you start shit at the club, not only do you have to deal with Eber, because Eber and his crew, the wild people will absolutely wreck your shit up and make you unrecognizable, basically, for when the cops find you later. They actually sort of enforce the neutral ground rule. So, A, you'll have Eber to deal with. B, Darius ain't no slouch either. C, Darius's boyfriend, Adrian, is a fucking assassin. Like, literally everybody knows this, although most people can't afford his services, but they are not left wanting when they do afford it. Point is, don't fuck with the club.
In more than one way.
Sorry. I'm snacking.
I apologize for that joke.
Anyway. We've been having a lot of fun.
Sounds like it. I'm enjoying it.
Someday I'm going to write out the AUs and make posts on Tumblr. That way people can keep track of these fucking AUs with me.
Honey, I help you develop half of them, and I still don't keep track.
I know. Well, with your brain bumping out like 10 different versions of each AU, it doesn't help, I'm sure.
Oh, definitely not. And those are just the ones I share with you.
I know.
I've got even more I don't share.
Mm-hmm. All right. It's funny because I really would. You know what? Hold on. What should I do? How much time do I have? Like an hour-ish? So it's gonna start with Mason, but man, I really, fuck it. I'm gonna go over to Adrian. oh, Satan. I don't know if you were around. I don't know if you heard, but I'm gonna put Adrian in the outfit from that one thing.
Yes, do it.
Right.
The devil on the shoulder says do it.
I apologize, everyone else. It's a spoiler, so I can't tell you why we're laughing about this. I don't know if it. I don't think the stream was I don't know if the stream was going or not, or I should say I don't know if the mics were on when we first brought it up. But yeah, we were laughing our asses off, and I apologize. But it is a spoiler, an in-story kind of spoiler, so I can't say why it's so funny to us to have Adrian in this outfit. But it's a very nice outfit, we'll put it that way. It's very pretty. It is.
You know, my brain is immediately going to that little blurb and...
Well, exactly.
Other character and
all that other stuff, yeah. All the stuff. Okay.
I envy the calf game.
I know, right? Like, damn. I mean, he's also walking around in those heels all the time. Like, Adrian...
Yeah, they did the first time wearing those heels.
Yes. Absolutely. And Darius, too. Like, it doesn't matter that he is already taller than average at 6 feet anyway. He also will wear the fancy heels as well. And he gives no shits that he's also wearing women's heels. They do not care. They are going to do that. Like, you do not tell these two what to do.
Try to tell them no.
Exactly. The only person who can tell Adrian what to do or no is, in fact, Darius. And it's not because Darius actually cares or is concerned for Adrian's safety, because he's actually more concerned for anyone else's safety. But that's exactly the problem, is he doesn't want to have to clean up the mess. So, yeah. No mess right now.
Darius would totally make Adrian ruin his fancy clothes to clean up his own mess.
Mm-hmm. Sorry. It's just sitting here smirking. Oh, man. I apologize.
Now is the hardest part of any day, figuring out what I'm making for supper.
Yep. God, I hate the Bluetooth on your phone.
make what I made: ramen noodles and then 2 bags of popcorn.
You know what? I think
Yeah.
he would tailor that up.
Popcorn is full of fiber. It makes you feel fuller.
It may not last very long,
it's
but
also- I also don't have any popcorn, so.
aw.
So say, don't talk about popcorn, guys. I don't have any either.
Right. You know what's ironic? I actually do. I have in my bathroom, believe it or not. I have shit. Sorry, I just launched my pen. I have an air popcorn maker. You know, the kind that uses hot air to pop the kernels. And the reason actually it's up here is because there's not enough room in the kitchen downstairs, and I'm like, listen, it's dry food. It's gonna be fine up here in my bathroom for no apparent reason. Plus, then I can eat it whenever the fuck I want. But I haven't made popcorn in literally months. So many months. I have no excuse.
Well, you've hidden it from yourself.
Right, hidden it in plain sight.
I got one of those for my last birthday.
Uh-huh.
And it's shaped like a Pokeball. I have yet to use it.
Oh, you
mostly because
should.
I don't have the kernels to go in it. So.
Oh, grr. This is such a pretty outfit. Just sitting here smirking. I'd much rather be drawing it on the person that actually is causing all the smirk and the giggles, but I can't do that on the stream. So I'm just gonna have to suffer.
If you
damn
did,
it.
somebody would definitely die.
Yeah.
Yep,
Absolutely.
for sure.
I need to fix this line though, I believe. I don't want to fix it. I think it looked good the way it was, but
I thought it looked good.
yeah, I was just concerned that it's coming too far up away from his leg, but I don't know. I mean, these are poofy pants. So
I like it. I mean, very much so.
are you okay?
That I'm. No, brain no working. Brain no working.
My brain never works.
Yay, we're done.
We're done.
For most of the time, I remember more about Pokemon than I do about myself.
I mean, that was fun yesterday, though.
I still ramble about it. I'll fill up the whole stream with nothing but random Pokemon and Pokédex entries and shit. I give no fucks. But literally, somebody who I apparently went to school with back forever ago was like, "Oh, hey, Sybil, how you doing?" Da 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 da. And I'm like, "Who the fuck is this? How do they know my name?" And it took 30 minutes after they left to remember. Oh yeah, I'm wearing a name tag.
I absolutely love stories like that. Just like, who the fuck are you? How do you know me?
That was literally what I asked him to. Who the fuck are you and how do you know me? Did I piss you off? Let's go take a number.
Take a number, get in line.
So get in line.
I warn you, I'm still ignoring number 1. Which I'm pretty sure is actually Mom, but oh well.
You know what? I'm just sitting here wondering, is this a silk nightshirt? Is he wearing a fucking sleep shirt?
Maybe.
Like, no, I don't think so. But like, that's the deal with Adrian. He's like super flamboyant and has not a care in the world.
I find him and Darius being a thing kind of hilarious.
Tis fun. This is very fun. Unapologetically, by the way, especially when they're actually in the club. Like, Darius will hang, or Adrian will hang all the fuck over Darius, sit on his lap and shit.
Funny.
It's like, you got something to say about it? You better not. Check yourself, you know where you are.
Only 2 places that are absolutely off limits to any kind of violence between anybody. The nightclub, or the gentleman's club, and Tara's tea shop.
Yes, that's one thing I did forget to mention with and that's the thing. Like she that's the weird like part about it is like she is also a no conflict zone. So the gentleman's club is a no conflict zone. Her like area is also a no conflict zone because in other words, like in any of the apothecaries, in her tea shop, it doesn't matter. Technically, the whole area is a no conflict zone. Like in other words, like whatever you do, don't cause a scene or a problem, kind of thing. Because it's not unusual that like maybe some randos would go like do some drug deal in the back of an alley or something. But as long as they're not causing some shit or hurting nobody, it's like all right, whatever, do your drugs or whatever you're doing, exchange some money or whatever, but don't cause any problems. And so if anyone does cause problems, you're gonna get taken care of. And that's the other like weird part is that like for whatever reason Tara sort of she's not necessarily on either one's bad side and somehow is also kind of on their good side sort of thing. Like how is she on the good side of both the police and the mafia? Like how do you do that? That's not something that you just do. So that's another reason why people are kind of afraid of her too. It's like clearly she's done something that has made both sides of this situation willing to respect her and not step on her toes.
Oh. Are you trying to sing the Discord, the sound of your people?
What happened?
He's like, oh, you're on the Discord?
Yes.
Cat. He's like,
Yes. Yes, we are on the Discord, Cat. Get your damn phone and join.
Going.
Who's going?
Me.
Aw.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Later.
Later, Tata.
I don't think they can be heard from over here, though, babe. This headset's pretty... The connection between my headset and this Discord is actually really shitty, so...
That's very shitty.
Be very surprised.
You know what? I do have that all kinds of wrong. Gosh darn it.
Did I tell you that the creep tried to start something again up at work today?
Oh my god! Tell him to go away.
Oh, it's okay. He started making those remarks whenever the manager was right there.
Oh, thank goodness.
Because she had, like, conference calls and shit she had to do. So she
Mhm.
was there until, like, the last hour I would be there. Like, she left 30 minutes before I did.
Mm-hmm.
So he walked up and started making all the suggestive comments that he's good at making. And y'all heard me talk about my manager. She's an awesome lady.
Mm-hmm.
Got 4 kids
Yeah.
of her own. Apparently decides I'm one of them. She is also twice my size and weight now. Because
Mhm.
y'all know why. But the man, for whatever reason, apparently does not see me as a threat. I don't know if it's the back support I wear or what.
I mean, probably.
Or the
Yeah.
fact that he does not know the history. Because back support or not, I still can beat his ass, I promise y'all.
We have a former Marine. That's what's up with that, by the way. Calamity.
Yeah, so I know how to beat ass, pretty much. It doesn't matter how fucked up my body is right now, I still know how to beat ass. And the rest of them too, not just their ass. But, so, he started making all those suggestive comments, and she was right there. Literally, she was stocking the cooler right next to him.
Right next. Oh wow, he was saying all that right next to her. Shit, he really is a dumbass.
I don't know if he thought she was just another customer or whatever, because she wasn't wearing her vest or nothing. She was stocking the coolers. It's broad daylight. We don't need to wear the shiny reflective vest when we're in that little protective area.
Uh huh.
in broad daylight. So, I don't know if he thought she was just another customer or anything, and I don't know why he thought it'd be appropriate to say anything like that around another customer anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But he started making those remarks. She whipped around. Like, I literally took 2 steps back from the counter just in case something came flying, okay? Oh, shit. He's like, oh, don't worry, I'll be gentle with you. And I'm like, oh, no, bitch, it ain't you I'm worried about. Turn around.
No, man. You just said the wrong thing at the wrong time. Like, as if any of it wasn't wrong to begin with, but good job.
He said that gentle part, and I'm just like, oh, shit, oh, shit, oh, shit. Should I duck? I'm not getting off the floor if I get down on it.
Oh, boy.
But I swear she was reading him the damn riot act, and I think somebody actually pulled out their phone and started recording because she was almost breathing fire. She was ready to beat his ass. She didn't care if she was still on the conference call.
Good.
I'm glad you have a good manager.
Yeah, she's the best.
Right?
You're happy with that manager. The Covenant's
She's the one
pleased.
She's the one who thinks I need to eat more.
She's not wrong.
Probably
Fight.
not wrong.
No. I will not fight you. I am smarter than that.
I will bite you. I will bite you.
Huh? You kind of broke up like halfway through that, hon.
I will bite you. I will not bite you.
I will bite all of you. I have lick and therefore it is mine.
Are you the one that is Satan?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. It's all coming together now.
Okay. Should have joined like 3 days ago. I was server sugar mama then.
Paying some bills up in here.
And it's, I'll pay a few more.
Can't forget the chain. Man, I think I need to take another ibuprofen.
No.
Oh, Lynn, I took a vote and pretty much the majority was long hair, but do you think Adrian should have long hair or short hair?
Okay. So.
Like, even if Adrian has short hair, he's going to wear wigs. So, but I wouldn't put it past him to have long hair.
That is exactly the thing that I'm imagining, is that he might have, because my grandmother had short-haired wigs. But generally speaking, people who wear wigs frequently usually keep their hair fairly short. So, long for a guy, absolutely. Long, probably not. But like, I can totally imagine like
Ellsbury Castle.
feminine long, feminine short, but man, very, very long, especially for the time.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm kind of of the mind that he wouldn't have like down his back long, but down to his chin, long in the front type thing. Yeah, I can totally see that. Having a woman's haircut that would come down to his chin or the tops of his shoulders. Yeah.
The short-haired anime Bishu nuns.
Short-haired anime what?
The pretty boys, the Bishu nuns.
Oh, Bishu.
Yeah,
okay.
that word. I can't never say it right. Don't judge me.
You're fine. No, I am looking up my own picture of Adrian I drew forever ago. Guy's so sassy. Such a sassy cat man. Don't mind me getting all distracted.
No, it's okay. I'm distracted too. I'm trying to brain.
Trying to brain.
Good job.
I'm trying to brain no worky. I'm trying to figure out what to make for supper.
Brain's pulling overtime.
Brain say no, honestly. Because what's really bad is, like, my brain just keeps shouting, like, the same answers at me constantly. And they're not helpful because I am missing ingredients. So, like, the brain keeps shouting at me that I should just make tater tot casserole. Make tater tot casserole. Why don't you make tater tot casserole? Well, brain, the reason I haven't made tater tot casserole yet is because we kind of are missing a very key ingredient, i.e. tater tot. So in order to make tater tot casserole, I have to have tater tots. Kind of an important part because tater tot casserole has tater tots. So my brain shouting at me that we should totally make tater tot casserole is not very helpful because I don't have the fucking tater tot.
Darn.
Brain's mostly just recycling Pokemon information.
I'm sensing a theme.
Yes. My brain is like, what you wanted to do is not going to work. And I'm like, fuck you. Didn't ask for your opinion. My brain, I am the opinion. Like, shut up. Shut up.
Pick a letter and I can find a Pokemon with that letter and ramble. I'll be background again.
I was gonna write today, and I was like, "Oh, streaming."
Oh, I'm sorry to keep you from writing.
No, I mean I'll get there. There's always tomorrow.
What are you writing in?
I was writing my own AU for the Owl House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Want to talk about it?
It's gonna be vampires and werewolves and oh my.
Sweet.
Ooh.
Ooh, that sounds like it'll be fun.
Yeah, hopefully.
Wait,
It'll
it's not
be
gonna
my
be
first.
some kind of.
Sorry.
It's not gonna be some kind of Twilight bullshit, is it?
No, they will not sparkle.
They will not.
It's really ironic because usually my sister would be the one who does vampires and I would do werewolves, but she did the werewolf thing first this time and I'm doing the vampire thing first, so.
Sweet.
Different to switch roles.
Nice. Just makes me think of the Witch Vacation AU.
Yes.
Which is one I still also need to do a little bit more on. But don't worry about that. I'm working on this right now.
But usually, I start at the beginning and then I get to the end, but I've just been writing little tidbits and chapters and things that I want to work in, so it's been a puzzle writing.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. I gotta make King be a little shit.
Yeah, well, that's only right. That's only correct. Hey, y'all, were fishnet stockings a thing in the 1950s?
Was what?
Was fishnet stockings a thing in the
I guess.
1950s?
I bet they were.
If they were, Adrian wears them. But if not, then he wears whatever the fuck would be the flashiest stockings for that for the time.
Most likely there weren't fishnet stockings.
No, but there were sexy stockings. Apparently, whenever
He would.
Huh?
Hold on.
fishnet stockings were a thing in the 50s because they were brought about by the showgirls and the flappers in the 20s.
Were they?
They just, yeah.
Oh,
I mean-
Victorian era did not reveal their. Hold on. Fishnet tights can be traced all the way back to the end of the 19th century. Women during the Victorian era did not reveal their legs in public, but as the world began to change, so did wardrobes. 1920s is when fishnet stockings started happening. The reason why I was thinking that they wouldn't have been a thing is because fishnet are because stockings were kind of a weird thing that you would actually make for yourself.
What?
Like during the 40s and 50s, you would actually like darn or sometimes even make your own if you had an appropriate. Though I guess fishnet ones would actually be easier for a person to make themselves.
Not to mention, they actually became more mainstream fashion in the 1950s because of centerfolds like Betty Page and Marilyn Monroe, who would casually don the short dresses and the fishnets.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
I mean, just because I'm wrong when I start off doesn't mean that I won't correct the fact that I was wrong.
no,
So,
you're good.
they were invented in the 1920s. He probably would be wearing the fishnets because they were slutty.
Oh, yeah. He probably
Yeah.
wouldn't have the patience to make them himself. He'll probably go ahead and pay someone to do that, but yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what that means? You can see the top of the fishnets up here because there's no way that shit doesn't come all the way up here. Oh, wait. Okay, hold on. Wait. Did they have the kind that came all the way up that you wore like leggings? Or were they went to your thighs and you had them gartered up?
I think they went all the way up like leggings.
I think it's.
hold on,
I think
I'm
they had
looking it up.
both, didn't they?
Probably did.
Let me.
Looking it up.
I'm gonna wait.
It looks like some stopped about mid-thigh, but others went all the way up. So, do whichever one you want.
I know which one.
I'm googling again.
Okay.
How would they keep the knee-high ones on?
That's what the
Girdle?
I think it's a garter belt.
Hmm.
Yeah, garter belt.
Yeah. So you had the garter belt that went around your waist basically, and it had the trails going down, the straps going down that clipped onto the stockings is what it was. Those things that is seen as sexy these days, but
okay,
really it
forget
actually
this.
was just a form of function is what it was. What now? What were you saying?
Okay, so high-waisted pantyhose were an invention of the late 1950s.
Oh.
So he would have had, if it's early or mid, he would have had to have been wearing
A garter belt.
Garter belt.
Which he probably would be wearing anyway, so I'm definitely going to put that on. Alright, anyway. You can't see a lot of it, but either way it's there. Anyway.
So yeah.
Lol.
Anyway, somebody pick a letter, because I'm bored and I want to do Pokemon things again.
Did we... What about
I know.
P
J.
as in
My-
Papa? Oh, someone said J. J like Juliet.
Oh, Jay?
Yeah, Juliet.
A letter?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, Satan is going to regale us with Pokemon facts.
Sweet.
Well, with J, that's a very interesting letter because it's not as few as Y, I mean, as X, or actually Y even, but it's still fewer than a good other letters. Now, whenever you immediately say
the
J,
only one I can think of off the top of my head is Jinx, so.
yeah, that would be one of the first ones people think of, but of course it also contains other populars such as Jigglypuff, and then Jolteon.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you have the one legendary Pokemon that starts with J, which is Jirachi. But there are actually, like, 3 others. Jumpluff, Jellicent, and, Joltik are the ones immediately off the top of my head. Please remember, I have not memorized the Paldea region, the newest region's Pokedex, and I'm not going off of the Hisuian, because that's the old-style, Sinnoh region. So this is just, like, Kanto through Galar. Because I have memorized those. So, which one we want to hear? You've got like 6, 7 options.
Is Jigglypuff
Jirachi.
got some? Oh, Jirachi.
Sorry.
Nope, Jirachi.
I can read both, I don't care. I've memorized both. Jirachi is actually the mythical, not legendary, correct myself on that, the mythical Pokemon. It's also known as the Wish Pokemon because, I mean, Jirachi grants wishes. It was, in fact, the basis and the main Pokemon used in one of the, earlier Pokemons, because it involved Ash, May, Max, and I believe Brock, but I'm not too sure if Brock was there for that one, because that was the Hoenn region. Not too sure if Brock was there for that. But anyways, so Jirachi was actually, make any wish come true as long as it is written on notes attached to its head when it awakens. If the Pokemon senses danger, it will fight without awakening. So it's actually a Steel Psychic type Pokemon, as opposed to whenever it was originally released, whenever it was thought to just be plain Psychic type. Because, I mean, duh, it fights with psychic powers. Most of its moves are Psychic type.
Oh, this reminded me, I forgot to put the pipe in Osrin's hand. Sorry, please continue.
That's fine, you just kind of startled me for a second, like, huh? Okay.
Well, I'm drawing, so Adrian's got that long-ass, like, I think technically it was a filter, but, like, the really long cigarette stick that you poked your cigarette to the end in. And,
Yes.
it just...
Cigarette holder.
Yeah, cigarette holder, and it reminded me that Osrin is actually supposed to be holding a pipe in his picture. I forgot to put his pipe in there.
A la Cruella de Vil.
Yes. Very
But
correct.
Jirachi is actually one of the shortest of the legendaries. It's only about 1 foot tall, and that's from, like, counting its little ribbons and everything all the way up to the top point of its star-shaped head.
Why is it so short?
It's so short because it is full of a lot of psychic power, which, holy shit. Like, this thing only awoken, according to the movie, I believe, only awoken from its comet once every 1,000 years. And
Really?
even before it awakes, it could beat your ass. Alright?
Wow.
Like, if you came at that comet and you tried to break it open and wake him up early, then no, that Pokemon loves its nap time. Fuck you, you're going to the stratosphere, okay?
It's worse than Snorlax.
It's not a Snorlax, surprisingly. You'd have a better chance with Snorlax, okay? Because, I mean, this thing wasn't even very big like Snorlax is. It's about 1 foot tall and about 2.5 pounds.
Less likely to get fucked with.
You can punt that damn thing like it's a football.
Good luck.
I mean, yeah, you're probably going to go on a one-way trip to visit Dialga, but...
Like, that's gonna be the last thing you ever do, but... You've had a
It'd
good
be
life,
like
right?
It'd be like that Charlie Brown comic strip. Whenever he tried to kick the football, but she'd yank it away at the last second, and he'd just go thunk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'd pretty much be that, and then you get just plain thrown. Alright?
Toast.
Now, despite it being a steel type, its highest stats were not actually in defense. its highest stat was special attack, unlike most steel types. Because, I mean, steel type, usually its highest stats for steels is generally the defense or special defense. Because you're not going to punch a wall of steel.
I mean, if you're smart, you're probably not going to do that, yeah.
I'm not going to say anything to that because, I mean, this is me now. But most people will not think, oh, hey, let me punch a wall of steel. Because guess what? You're not going to do nothing but break your damn hand. Or you're going to break some fingers. You're probably not even going to dent that wall, depending on how thick the steel is.
Mm-hmm.
So, most steel-type Pokemon have high defense. But Jirachi, being Steel's psychic, and as well as a mythical Pokemon, actually has its highest stat being special attack. This is what you would call a glass cannon. Okay? Like, if you didn't bolster its defense enough, then just one hit from almost anything would knock it out. Because its special attack was its highest stat. Its HP and its defense and its was nothing to write home about, okay? Its speed was very good. Its speed and its special attack. But everything else, they're pretty much basic. So, this was not a Pokemon you'd send in for a long battle. This was a Pokemon you'd send in like, oh shit, okay, let me set something up. Let me lower the enemy's attack, or let me confuse the enemy or something. It'd be a support Pokemon. It'd have a move like Helping Hand, so for a double battle where you have two tag team battle or double battle, you can bolster the second Pokemon's attack and stuff. Kind of give it a boost. You could use moves like Future Sight, so you can just smack down your opponent's Pokemon in the next turn. You wouldn't hit them this turn, you'd hit them next turn. And you'd use like Healing Wish, which would heal your Pokemon in the next turn. So yeah, that's his Jirachi.
Jirachi.
What was the other one called out? Jigglypuff?
Oh, I was asking if there was anything cursed in Jigglypuffs.
I'll read it to you and you can tell me. Because I'm pulling up the like original one. Just like mostly original Pokédex entry for this. Alright. Jigglypuff the balloon Pokemon. It is a normal fairy type originally found in the Kanto region. Now, an interesting fact about it is that originally Jigglypuff did not have a baby form. It was just Jigglypuff and then Wigglytuff. And even then, Wigglytuff wasn't really discovered, I don't think, until, I don't want to say, well, maybe not discovered, but it wasn't really widely known until around the Kalos region. And you didn't have Igglybuff, the baby version of Jigglypuff, until the Kalos region either. But, let's see, it is a normal fairy type, and fairy type was added in the Kalos region, so originally it was just normal. Jigglypuff has top-notch lung capacity, even big by comparison to other Pokemon. It won't stop singing its lullabies until its foes fall asleep. And it can freely change the wavelength of its voice, singing a mysterious melody sure to make any listener sleepy. Now, this was not a very big or heavy Pokemon. It was about 1 foot and a few inches, so about 108. And then it weighed about 12 pounds, okay? So it was not very big. And originally, Jigglypuff only knew maybe 2 moves. 3 at the most. Sting, Defense Curl, and Pound, I believe, are the original moves it knew. Look, you found it in the wild, those were the only moves it knew.
I'm sorry, just Pound.
Yeah. Yeah, trust me, Pound has some very cursed things about it.
I am mature. I am a mature human being.
I am an adult, in fact.
Let's just say there is a little comic strip about a Machat because it somehow knew Charm, Sleep Powder, and Pound.
Okay, anyway.
Uh-huh.
I'm good. I'm good. I am okay.
Sure about that?
Yep. Yep. I'm just taking screenshots of people and their smokes, man.
Well, listen to some of the other moves Jigglypuff can naturally learn. Play nice, double slap, disabled, roll out, round, stockpile, swallow. That guy.
I'll never be mature enough for that shit.
What the fuck is this? What? Okay, stop. What the fuck is that ability for?
Actually, swallow and spit up go along with stockpile.
I don't understand.
Stockpile would be like you're stockpiling. It's kind of like a Kirby ability, okay?
That's what I was just about to ask. Is this like a Kirby? Is this where Kirby came from?
Probably. I think actually Kirby came before Pokemon, though. So honestly, Jigglypuff
so it was a nod to
inspired-
Kirby. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it, but I get it.
What's also interesting is that the stockpile, swallow, spit up abilities or move set was not widely known or popular until the Alola region, even though that did come about also in the Kalos region.
Mm-hmm.
It was not part of the original moveset in the Kanto region.
Don't mind me snacking.
Take your time.
No.
But yeah,
Do what you got, man.
the original Pokédex entries for Jigglypuff, with a little bit of amendments. Pick another letter, or should I pick another J?
I want to hear about Jolteon.
Yay!
Jolteon. Okay, that's the lightning evolution of, or electric evolution of Eevee. So that was also originally found in the Kanto region naturally. Every other region aside from Kanto, Kalos, Galar, and Alola, and of course in Paldea, it was not naturally found. So in Johto, Hoenn, and Sinnoh, the only way it got there is by either specially breeding it in somehow, even though you weren't supposed to be able to, or by moving it from Pokemon Home into the game. Of course, you can still find Eevee in those games. Eevee shows up in every game.
Every game.
However, the Jolteon line was, or the Jolteon version of the line was only majorly popular and used in those 4 main regions. So, as most know, you could only get Jolteon by using a Thunderstone to evolve Eevee. So it also required a little bit of specifics, because without a Thunderstone, Eevee would originally evolve into either Umbreon or Espeon. And then, of course, later on, you'd get Sylveon. And then, even further down the line, you get Jolteon and, not Jolteon, Glaceon and Leafeon as well.
Leafeon.
Mm-hmm. But, if a Jolteon is angered or startled, the fur all over its body will bristle like sharp needles that can pierce foes, kind of like a hedgehog. But it also accumulates negative ions in the atmosphere to blast out 10,000-volt lightning bolts.
Oh boy.
This thing is like the size of a cat, okay? It is 2 feet tall and about 54 pounds, so a
What
very
kind
heavy
of cat are you?
Yeah, what kind of cat are you talking about? That's a dog.
It looks kind of like a cat,
That's a
but
dog,
it's
honey.
not dog-sized.
So you're like, that's a big ass fucking cat. You mean a bobcat? Is that what we're talking about?
Well, yeah, kind of, but I mean, Eevees are pretty much based off of little cats and foxes.
That tracks.
So they were shaped or
Yeah, I'll believe.
designed like a cat or a fox, even though they'll be more dog-sized.
Yes.
So, most of the possible moves that a Jolteon could learn without special breeding or anything would be the same moves it would know as an Eevee. Bite, Charm, Agility, Baby Doll Eyes, Baton Pass, all sorts of normal stuff. Double Kick, Tail Whip, Tackle Swift. It only learns the electric types as soon as it evolves, however, so that would be the ones like Discharge, or the, Thunder Fang, Thunder Shock, Thunder Wave, just Thunder.
Thunder,
And I believe-
thunder.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The only move that it would know that does not learn as an Eevee, but is also not a Thunder or Electric type, would actually be Pin Missile, which is a Bug type move. And that is possibly because of all of its spiky little fur, and therefore it can shoot its fur like pins or missiles.
Oh my god, you know what I just realized? I'm sorry, taking away from Pokemon real quick. So,
I'm rambling.
Bump is a, Bump's had, like, pretty much everyone in the damn AUs has either has or had, no, shut up. Pretty much everyone has a sordid history of some kind. So Bump's, like, had some problems in his life, but he's bounced back quite well from them, I would say. And he's a boxer, okay? Like, he took up boxing. He is essentially a one punch guy. He'll down you in one hit. And it just occurred to me that Darius, as slender as he is also a boxer. And it just occurred to me that him and Bump probably box at the same place and probably have boxed each other before. Like, they probably trained together is what I'm getting at. And I just realized that. I'm like, oh my god. That's great. Fucking love it.
I mean, that does sound like fun.
Right? Please continue. I'm sorry. I just had that revelation. I'm like, ah, yes! Absolutely. And it makes that one thing that only the two of you know about even funnier.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Okay, anyway.
But, I was on Jolteon still, right?
Yes, you were.
Yeah. Okay, so it's moveset, much like most electric types, is mostly in the, of course, it's special attack. It wouldn't be a actual fist fighter, not like some of the fighting types or anything would be. I mean, of course, depending on its nature and all that, it would depend more on whether you'd want Thunder Fang instead of Thunder or Discharge. But most of the time for electric types, you'd go with the special attack. And of course its speed was phenomenal. Like, this thing was the fastest little shit. It'd be a little lightning bolt, okay?
Ironic. Sorry. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Jolteon the lightning bolt. Whoopsh.
So do I do another J, or do we pick another letter?
You pick, Calamity.
I
I
want
don't
to hear
know what
from you.
letter that is, but I'm not gonna hit
I want to hear about Milotic.
Who?
Milotic.
M. Milotic.
Oh, you want to know more about Milotic? Okay. Milotic's actually a very neat Pokemon. It was made more popular mostly because of the Sinnoh champion Cynthia using it. Until then, it was mostly seen as a pretty Pokemon, not really a useful one. Which is actual bullshit, because, I mean, it's still a dragon type, pretty much. So I don't know how anybody thought, especially in the beginning games, oh yeah, this little dragon's just to look pretty. It is not to be actual fighting, or something like that. I
Oh
don't
my
know
god, I
what the
realized
hell.
Darius is even doing Terra Smirk.
What?
Just Darius is even doing the Terra Smirk, just like the other's corner of his mouth. Okay, anyway, sorry. Please continue.
But another trainer who made Milotic popular would actually be Wallace, I believe his name was, in the Hoenn region. Because it originally appeared in the Sinnoh and Hoenn regions. Sinnoh in the anime, but Hoenn was only for the game. So you wouldn't find it naturally in the game in the Sinnoh region. In fact, in the games, it only shows up in Alola and Hoenn naturally. Anywhere else, you'd have to hack it or Pokemon Home it. It is known as the Tender Pokemon, and it is considered one of the most beautiful Pokemon in the Pokemon world, even though it evolves from a Phoebus, which is considered to be one of the ugliest fish Pokemon in the world, which I don't know how that's possible, because it's a cute little boy, but okay. You leave that baby Phoebus alone, okay?
I want to see a picture of baby Phoebus.
Okay, I can look one up on my phone. Give me a second.
I also want to see what this Pokemon looks like. I've never heard this name. I'm not a Pokemon person, so most of this is always new to me.
And hey, I'm always interested in getting people more interested in Pokemon. Let's see, Phoebus. Most people would actually only catch a Phoebus just so they could evolve it into a Milotic.
Well, that's annoying.
Yeah, it's kind of like the same way they'd only catch a Magikarp to evolve it into a Gyarados.
Yeah. Literally,
Isn't it
that's
just
what I was
as
thinking when you were like saying what you were saying. It was Magikarp and Gyarados. Sorry, what was that, Calamity?
Isn't it just as hard to evolve Feebas as it is Magikarp?
Not really, because Magikarp, you just need to get it to like level 16 to 20, I believe, and you're good. Phoebus actually requires a special item to evolve, a beauty scale or something. Well, of course, in the Hoenn region, when they had all the contests and stuff, its beauty stats needed to be maxed out. But let's see, I gotta post it to Talking General.
Look how fucking sassy he is. I love it.
Okay, the first one I'm gonna show you is the Phoebus. The next one I'm uploading is the Milotic.
Okay.
And yes, I know I'm probably saying it wrong because it's supposed to be said Milotic, but I just always call it Milotic.
Hey, I'm vibing with your accent. I like it a lot.
Yee.
Well, thank you. But, right. Originally, whenever it was discovered, it was first as a water-type Pokemon. It did not actually get the dragon typing until a little while later. Which is partially why it was mostly used on Wallace's team, because Wallace was the water-type Elite Four and then the champion.
Oh, great. I just realized there's a brush I'm going to need to find and download. Anyway. Oh, that's such a cute fish!
Yeah.
Why
You
would
can see why I'm
be like, oh, that's an ugly ass fish. I'm like, are you kidding me? I've seen far uglier fish.
Like, hell, well, I mean, have you seen some of the other Pokemon? How you gonna call that cute little boy ugly? Of course, it's always depending on what kind of Pokemon you like, but it's still, how you gonna call that cute little thing ugly?
All right.
You leave that baby alone.
I'm going to say it. The Milotic looks totally like it's a creature from Subnautica.
It does. It
Sorry,
really,
to
really
have
does.
one.
Like, as soon as I started playing Subnautica, I'm looking around like, okay, where the hell's the Milotic?
Like, where's the other Pokemon?
Give me the Phoebus, give me the Milotic, I'll even take a Gyarados. Oh shit, not the Reaper, fuck you, I want Gyarados.
Right? His Gyarados is nice. Maybe.
But,
Hence the maybe, okay?
it is literally considered the most ferocious Pokemon in the world, okay?
What, Gyarados or Milotic?
Gyarados. Milotic's considered the tender Pokemon.
Aw.
It's usually actually referred to as the most beautiful Pokemon of all, which I guess was later kind of questioned.
I question it.
Yeah, considering some other Pokemon that were later, you know how it is. I mean,
Yeah.
they'll say it's the most beautiful, and then you'll get to a later region, and oh, this thing's gorgeous. It must be the most beautiful of all. And they'll be like, hold on, which one?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, never mind. This one's the most gorgeous. Well, no. This one's the most gorgeous.
Yeah. And of course, it usually just depends on what you view as gorgeous. Because, I mean, I think Milcery, for instance, the cream Pokemon, and Alcreme are cute. They're adorable. And I love my Deanna lines and Poochyana's. And of course, everybody loves the Mew. But, I mean, it all depends on what you like. Somebody who likes Sudowoodo might not like Wooper. But somebody who likes Wooper might not like Stunfisk.
Sorry, I'm still snacking. My bad. I'm just like.
You're good. But I mean, Milotic would be like a long as fuck, okay? This thing was a giant ass sea snake, pretty much. It was like 20 feet long.
Damn.
And
Bigger than I thought he was from that picture.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it would be that big on the games or in the Pokédex pictures or nothing, but it's actually about 20 feet long. Give or take, of course, depending on its diets and all that. And this thing would weigh like over 350 pounds, okay? This bitch was like an anaconda, okay?
Damn.
This thing was like an anaconda from the South Africa or wherever. Like the movie Anaconda. That's what this shit would be like.
Right?
And it is actually one of the first Pokemon to have known dragon moves even before it officially got its dragon typing. Because
Sweet.
it would know moves like Dragon Tail and Twister, I believe, was considered dragon when it first came out until they moved that one to a different one. It would know all those moves, but it would also, however, know fairy type moves like Disarming Voice, which would make it extremely useful because guess what? Not only was this shit blasting dragon moves, but it was also, after Disarming Voice was labeled a fairy type move, blasting fairy type moves, which is 4 times strong against other dragons. Because when dragons originally came out, they had 2 weaknesses. They had ice weakness, and they had weakness to other dragons. And that was it. Then fairy types came out and wrecked the dragons to hell and back, okay? They chopped them fuckers up and threw them in a blender. So, if you found a dragon-type Pokemon...
Hello, whoever
that could
joined.
also...
Amber!
Hi, whoever here.
It's Amber.
I'm rambling Pokemon. Again.
Okay.
I'm not apologizing.
I wouldn't expect you to.
Honestly, if y'all expect the one with a screen name of Satan to apologize, then I don't know what to tell you.
We didn't expect it before you got that screen name, so...
I know, that was mostly for the new people.
Just so y'all are aware, Satan never apologizes. Even when she's not
And
going
neither
by
does
Satan.
this. Huh?
I said, even when she's not going by Satan. Alright, anyway.
Nope.
That reminds me.
Even back when I just fell.
I don't know why that reminded me. That actually didn't remind me of shit. It just popped into my head. Sorry. Calamity and or Ember or anyone else. If you need assistance or have any questions about navigating the server, please let me know. I tried to do a really good job in the server layout channel, but just in case, let me know if you need any assistance there.
Roger Dodger.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
Right.
Mostly if I have questions, I just go and poke Katie because I
Yes.
poke her anyway, so.
All the pokes. Poke, 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 poke.
You're free to poke me, but I bite.
And she won't apologize for that.
Just a nibble.
No, I will not.
I mean, again, I wouldn't expect the apology for it in valid warning.
I have a tendency to bite people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've had a history of that too.
See, this is why we're called the Coven.
I even nibble on my coworkers at work.
Excuse me.
I don't like my coworkers enough for that.
I was about to say.
I'm a manager. I can't do that.
Aw.
I'm the shift lead. I get to do it to whoever the hell I want. I'm not manager, but I'm in management.
Lol.
And I'm also going to get promoted to assistant manager, probably. Fuck.
No cards.
Fuck. I'm gonna have to manage things. Shit.
I'm going to have to be responsible. Shit. If y'all are expecting me to be the responsible one, or a good example, then we are all fucked. You know this, right?
Yep. Don't worry, we'll make sure to lend the brain cell over your direction for extra heavy days.
You were supposed to have yeeted me that brain cell.
I thought I did, but you know what? It slipped right through my fingers. I don't know what to say. Just, that's a wily little fucker. Like...
I think you just don't want to see me with a brain cell. I think that's what it is.
No, I keep misplacing it, I promise. It's not on purpose.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, you were saying.
I'm allergic to bullshit. Ow, I should not have done that.
And you're a
That's
shift lead.
yeah, I sneeze at work a lot because I'm so allergic to bullshit. But anyway. Oh shit, we lose somebody?
It might have just been someone popping into to actually look at the screen share.
Oh.
Yep, because everyone's
Okay.
still here, so. Boop-a-doop.
But was there another Pokemon you wanted to ask about, or just pick a letter?
Don't put me on the spot again. I only started playing Sword and Shield when it came out, and I've done a lot of Arceus.
Alright, well, let's do Arceus. Wait, did
Didn't I
you do Arceus?
Yes.
You did. You
Yeah,
did
I did
Arceus yesterday, but she
Yeah.
wasn't here for that.
I
So
mean, I don't mind.
yeah.
Because, I mean, Arceus is the alpha Pokemon. It's considered pretty much the god Pokemon. Who's gonna say no to talking about pretty much the god Pokemon? Seriously, come on, people. Now, it was originally known in the Sinnoh region, and of course, it was also known as the mythical Pokemon, the one who created the universe. Unknown, however, is how it was first created, because, I mean, according to the legends of the Sinnoh region, the Pokemon emerged from an egg and shaped the entire world. Of course, that always
Did I
leaves the
drop
question.
out?
What?
Huh?
Who said
Somebody
that?
started calling Roboto. Who the hell was that?
I think it was Lynn. And at this point, I see your name lighting up, but I don't hear anything.
I'm not even looking at my phone, so.
Yeah, Lynn, if you are talking or any kind of noise is coming from you, it is not coming through.
Is she still on Bluetooth? Did the Bluetooth die?
It could have.
But well, I'll keep rambling until she comes back. But according to the legends of the Sinnoh region, Arceus emerged from an egg and shaped the entire world. But of course, it's also said in the mythology that the Pokemon was born before the universe even existed. Which does create the question, well, who the fuck laid that egg then? Because, I mean...
That is a good question, actually.
The egg was made before the world. All Pokemons hatch from egg unless they're man-made. So where the fuck did the egg come from? Hold on. Huh? Oop.
It's Lynn, don't worry, keep going.
Okay.
I'm paying attention.
So I believe I said it yesterday, but this Arceus thing was like 10 feet tall, okay? This was a tall bitch. He's gonna tower over all humans and a good bit of Pokemon. Not all Pokemon, because of course you got the ones that are like 20 feet tall and shit. But it's still gonna tower over a good bit of them.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing weighed like 700 pounds, okay? This was no lightweight fucker. Okay?
Right.
It is not like Jirachi that you can punt like a football. This thing is probably the one punting you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I said it yesterday, actually, but Arceus is actually a normal type.
What?
Yeah, it's normal type. If I'm not wrong, it is the only normal type mythical Pokemon.
Ugh,
Or legendary, actually.
that is weird.
Yeah, so for everybody who is saying that normal type is weak as fuck, guess what, bitch? And of course, I believe I said the other day that Arceus had its a special move, which would be Judgment, which would one-shot the fuck out of everything, pretty much.
Oh, yeah, yep.
Yeah, like, it doesn't matter if you were using a fighting type, which had a natural advantage to the normal type, but if it used Judgment on you, it doesn't matter what your fucking type is, that you're getting one-shotted. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, this wasn't a lightweight Pokemon. This wasn't a small thing or nothing. It had a good set of defense. Its stats were mostly balanced, almost like completely evenly balanced. It did not favor one over the other, technically, unless you got one with a certain nature. But, I mean, yeah. And it could know moves from all sorts of friggin' types. There would be like a Seismic Toss, which is a fighting type move. Then you have Cosmic Power, which is psychic type. Then you'd have a Future Sight, which I believe is fairy type. And Natural Gift, I think, was grass type or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it would know moves from all kinds of types, so it really didn't matter what type Pokemon you sent out against it. It probably knew a move to beat the shit out of it. And if nothing else, this fucker knew Perish Song, okay? For those of you who do not know Pokemon, Perish Song is a move which is technically considered banned in the circuit of competitive, because no matter what you do, if your opponent uses Perish Song, then both your opponent and your opponent's Pokemon would both pretty much be killed at the end of the third turn.
Wow.
Of course, they say fainted, but perished. There's not many ways to describe that.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Hello, Lynn. Can we
Not
hear
good.
you now?
Really could, but
Kinda,
it was
sorta.
the problem was I was getting motor mouthed on your guys' end. So I was like, okay, it doesn't really matter so much if they can hear me, but I need to be able to actually understand them, not have them Speedy Gonzalez-ing through entire conversations.
Oh, yeah, no, that's kind of annoying. Yeah, no.
Well, I'm mostly just providing white noise and rambling Pokemon again, so.
Yeah, because I keep getting
Yeah.
distracted by beautiful people. Anyway. Never mind the fact that I'm drawing them, but... oh, she's right over here. Alright, anyway,
That
sorry.
is not Tara, okay? That is
I went really fast, okay? I went... Here she is. Here's Tara.
Okay.
Here's two beautiful people. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. But anyway,
You
here's
mean not
Darius.
wrong.
Some
But
people
okay,
think
what's
one
up?
of those is beautiful. Alright.
I started trying to figure out, like, a recipe that I've got several, like, hamburger helpers that are pretty much, like, not getting used because, like, my husband only really likes 2 hamburger helpers, and we ended up with a whole bunch of ones that he doesn't like. And so I was like, okay, well, let's see if I can find something that uses a hamburger helper that I can jazz up a hamburger helper with. Let's do some recipes. And all of them are homemade hamburger helper. And I'm like, bitch, I don't need homemade. I got the fucker. I just don't like the fucker.
Oh, that's funny.
I was like, I do not need any of these homemade hamburger helper. Homemade hamburger helper. Best homemade hamburger helper. Hamburger helper is not good. I do not need to make it at home. I have it. I'm trying to make it better, motherfucker.
I love
We
you.
want to eat. We don't want to waste it.
Exactly. We're
Yeah,
only eating it because we're not going to waste it. That's all.
That is literally the only reason why I haven't thrown it in the goddamn bin. I got a whole bunch of them. Several of them are like near their expiry date. I need to get rid of them. I need to use them up. And I have no idea how. Because all of these things are like homemade hamburger helper. I'm like, bitch.
Listen. Yep. Good luck. I believe in you.
Hamburger casserole.
You're not for help because I will cause you to burn down the house.
Someone said
Right.
casserole. Someone said the word casserole, though.
Hamburger helper casserole.
Tell us more.
Never heard of that before in my life. How does that do?
I don't know. I would just say throw it in a casserole dish with all of its ingredients, put it in the oven, see what happens.
Oh, that might be a good idea.
See, the problem really comes down to the fact that most of the hamburger helpers that I have are ones specifically that my husband doesn't like. So first off, he's not much for elbow macaroni. Almost all of them have elbow macaroni.
Ugh.
Second off, they are all like cheeseburger. And I'm like, okay, well, here's the problem with cheeseburger macaroni situation. My husband does not like Kraft dinners, and the cheese that they use in these is Kraft dinner cheese.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Same.
it's like, I need other things to put in it for it to be worthwhile for doing. So I'm going to cook up the hamburger. I'm going to decide how I'm going to change this. I'm probably going to end up chopping up some sun-dried tomatoes and some garlic and shit and just make it and then top it with some fucking actual cheese to kind of cover up the nasty cheese and bake the fucker for long enough to heat up the cheese. So we will see how well that works. And if it tastes like shit, I'll throw it away. I'll go to fucking Burger King, I'm sick and tired of fucking standing around, not knowing which way to the goddamn cover. So frustrated.
Why don't you just go to Burger King now? Just cut out the fucking middleman.
I've already put the hamburger in the microwave.
Damn it.
Now, your plan sounds really good.
I hope it works.
Me too. I hope it works too, because after this box, I still have 2 more of the exact same boxes. Plus, I have 3 boxes of tuna cheesy pasta.
Oh no.
Oh, boy.
No, I'm sorry. 4 boxes of tuna cheesy pasta and 1 box of chicken cheddar broccoli. Now, the chicken cheddar broccoli is one that I have made for myself in the past.
Oh,
and
you know
it's
what? He would have a fancy belt.
okay.
They all
Because I
sound weird.
added broccoli to it.
They all sound like they'd be really good, and it pisses me off.
Well, the problem is they all sound like they'd be great. I have never had one that was actually good. I don't like these things because they take the process. So it's always like a fucking fight because my husband, he likes the cheesy, what's the lasagna one?
Cheesy enchilada.
Like the 4 cheese lasagna is specifically the one that he likes. So that's the thing that he eats and he likes just fine. But hi, why are you screaming at me? Oh, the food bowls are empty. You do realize that's not actually empty, right, sir? No, don't stand on the food box. That's where I get the food from. You. Hi, yes. Are you singing me the song of your people?
Yep.
Yes, I love you too. Yes, I love you.
God, these fancy bastards.
Boy.
Shit.
I'm glad you're not drawing a comic with them.
God. Oh man, that'd be horrible. I basically would have to use these lines in black, I think, would be the only way I'd survive that unless I was making it a graphic novel. Like, these being my technical sketch lines, I would just have to, like, literally be like, yeah, here we go, this. You guys can just have this right here. Which I've been told by you specifically, I think, that I should totally just do that.
But you keep disagreeing with me.
I do. I don't know why. Anyway,
Crazy woman.
moving on. Moving on to these fancy assholes. Darius also rocking these heels. Not the
Them heels.
not the he's not much for the fishnets though. Adrian can have those.
Pretty sure Derek could pull it off if he wanted to, though.
Oh, he absolutely could. Yes. I think probably he's just more annoyed by fishnets than anything. He likes looking at them, but he doesn't like actually dealing with them on him.
No, he likes them on Adrian.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I am very much so with him on that because, like, I like the look of fishnets, but fishnets annoy the piss out of me.
Not gonna lie, the only time I wear tights is if I'm dressing up for Halloween.
Or cosplay.
cosplay.
Yeah.
Or cosplay.
Good old cosplay.
If it's not then y'all deal with whatever the fuck my legs look like.
Right.
I don't even wear makeup.
There you
I'm
go.
doing good if I put on lip gloss or nail polish.
Oh, that reminds me. I need to send in the server that lipstick, that matte liquid lipstick that is also the 20... it may not be 24-hour, but man, does it weld to your lips the same as that 24-hour one that I sent you, Satan.
That was
So I need to send in there's one, Menagerie Cosmetics, their matte liquid lipstick. I tested it out. Remember when I said I got... Finally, you know, after years since, like, you know, my electronics are spying on me and I'm drawing tarot all the time. And it's like, hey, would you be interested in this dark green lipstick that you couldn't find 2 years ago when you were looking for dark green lipstick? Yes, I would. Yeah. And so, bought it, and I actually did try it, but I am horrible at lining my lips with liquid lipstick ones. That's why I didn't take a picture or send it anywhere. And I had such a hard time getting that shit off. So yeah, I'm gonna send that in the channel for anyone who's interested in Super Stay matte liquid lipstick that looks awesome and has funky colors.
Hell yeah.
Great for
You know how
cosplay,
much
for
that
sure.
would be great for my cosplays?
Fantastically, I'm sure. As someone who also didn't know about this shit while I was cosplaying, yes. Absolutely. They have more natural colors and they have crazy colors as well, so it'll be fun. You know what?
Okay, part of the reason I think that I don't like the things is because they constantly use because you don't boil the pasta separate. And I just thought, you know what? Fuck it. My kid can use the fucking noodles from the thing in his he occasionally makes himself
You know, the problem with
dinners
the,
and add some stuff into it. So, honestly, probably not actually using much of this, but don't fucking care.
I can't help but agree with you that the pasta noodles for the hamburger helper is very lacking. They're made to cook fast. They're not made to cook good.
Blech.
Yeah.
I can't actually remember the
Well,
last
and
time I ever had hamburger helper, to be quite honest.
I'm not allowed to try
Another
hamburger helper.
Is it because the cheese?
Why is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the cheese.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair point. That's cheese.
There's like none of them that do not have cheese in some degree.
That's not true.
None
You
of them
need
like
to go
fine.
to Asian Helper.
There's
Go
what?
to Asian Helper. It doesn't have
Oh.
any. Asian Helper doesn't have any cheese in it.
Oh, you should look for that then.
I did not know this.
Neither did I.
I'll see if I can find some
It
next time
usually
we go to the store.
uses rice.
Okay.
But, what, did I actually forget to light that? Because I didn't see any light underneath there. I
Uh-oh.
might have. That's bad.
Whoops. I just realized I think I have these pockets for these coats like way too close into the... Or maybe I don't. I don't know. Fuck it. I'm just going to leave it there.
How do you get your studies for the clothing?
Hmm?
How do you get your ideas for the clothing? Like the studies?
Honestly, it was really just ended up being a lot of me and Lynn looking up 1950s clothing styles. Because that's really the only thing that I had to go on is that these people exist in the 1950s. So,
Well, and plus there's a little thing that, people who exist in a time period do not necessarily wear garments from that time period necessarily. Sometimes they wear stuff that's a little bit older because, you had it in your closet, and why the fuck wouldn't you continue to wear this clothing that obviously fit you?
mm-hmm.
So, knowing a little bit, I'm a seamstress.
It does
So,
help to have seamstress
knowing
friends
a
when
little
you're an
bit-
artist.
Yeah, it really does. So I have a little bit more higher than average idea of what is accurate and what isn't when looking at like pictures and stuff. And I also recognize clothing cut a little bit more readily because I have been doing clothing sewing since I was a small girl. I started off with Barbie clothes, but we were doing clothes for me, clothes for my mom. I was helping with her do stuff like that most of my childhood. Oh, that's not fun. So she goes, "What do women wear in the 1950s?" And I'm like, "Let me find out."
We started with Faust and Bump actually.
Yeah, fair
but
point.
But
Men's fashion is really hilarious at that time frame.
God, we laughed so hard. I swear that stream took probably at least a third longer than it needed to because we were too busy laughing at these fucking suits, man. Because okay, look,
Yeah.
let me just show you. Look at Bump's form. Okay, look at his body underneath this suit. Okay, this suit has shoulders that are way too wide, and it goes down. In fact, I probably made he's probably on the shorter end for how long these usually went for on most men because he was taller than average for then. He's like 6'1", right? Normally the guys were around like 5'8", 5'10", kind of area. Really just not nearly quite as tall as he was, which is hilarious when you consider the fact that he's not even the tallest. We're looking at the tallest right here, motherfucking Faust. But anyway, so Bump is a little bit taller than average. So it doesn't even go as low as it was on other men. Like on other men, it was damn near mid-thigh, how far down their suit deal went. And Bump's wearing the slimmer pants, not the big poofy pants. And the point is that it's just fucking hilarious. They wore these things back then.
Yeah, like what we.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm gonna go back over here now.
Especially undersized in the 1950s. Like, it is crazy how different. And the shoulder pads were specifically intended on men's suits to square their shoulders. So, first off, their shoulders don't, they've got shoulder pads in there so the shoulder doesn't slope. But then the shoulder actually extends out past the tip of their actual shoulder, like actually past their deltoid, so that it will hang as a more square, sharper corner. And so you would frequently see pictures where there's like loose fabric at the top of their shoulder. Because like if they move, like you'll get wrinkles up there because the shoulder is way shorter than the fucking shoulder pads. And it's just the most hilarious looking thing. Because we're used to seeing men in these, tightly tailored, well-fit suits where they're slim cut, and if he's athletic, he's got, kind of a tucked in waist and broader shoulders. But there's not like a whole bunch of padding. He wears clothes, a guy who's got well-fit suit, his clothes fit him, not the padding that somebody put in it to make him have the correct silhouette. He's supposed to have the correct silhouette on his own. Mm-hmm. They didn't do that back then. That was fucking close.
Yeah. Back then, the clothes made the silhouette, not the person made the silhouette. So it's like...
Absolutely.
Oh, my God.
That is 150% the way things were in the past, is that you would build the silhouette out of your clothes. You weren't supposed to make the silhouette under your clothes. So like if you were a man who wanted a trimmer waist, a man would wear a corset to trim his waist.
Absolutely.
If you wanted if you were a woman who wanted the pigeon-breasted look, you would wear a pigeon-breasted corset and fill this fucking cage around your torso with padding. It was very common to pad in women's suit coats, it was very common to pad the hollow between your shoulder, like along your clavicle, to smooth from your shoulder down to your bust so that there wasn't a dip in there. Like,
oh my
the
God.
amount people would pad their fucking clothes in the past is almost fucking insane.
I like how I have all these people who clearly aren't doing those things.
Well, the thing is a lot of the people that you're drawing probably wouldn't, because they don't need the padding. They need things like
guns and
knives.
Might
armor them. And that's accurate for several of these people.
Yes.
But yeah, it's like, it's so funny to look at some of the stuff and see the structure of these old outfits and see how people would wear them, and to see how utterly hilariously sloppy and men's pants went to their natural waist as opposed to
Oh,
their
yeah,
hips,
yeah,
where
no,
we're
look at
seeing
this.
them nowadays. And so, like,
So
they
look
have
right.
their pants up underneath their
This is
frickin'
where
armpits.
Faust's pants are, okay? Like, this right here, this line, the reason that line is here is because I needed to know where Faust's pants started. So, look at how far up there. Same with Bump. Bump's is actually too low. His actually needs to be right here, but because he's taller, they're right there where they're not supposed to be. And unlike Faust, okay, Bump probably has less tailoring done to his clothes and just sort of deals with it, because the thing is he kind of can. His only real issue is that he's taller than average, whereas Faust is not only much taller than average, he's also much bulkier than average. So he really, honestly, has to have his clothes tailored for him, because otherwise he just wouldn't have clothes that fit.
It would suck during the summer. I don't care where you live.
Right. I don't actually know what Chicago's like during the summer, but I can imagine that would absolutely suck too. Yeah.
80s to hundreds and humid.
Oh God.
We don't get up to 100 a lot, but it's always very humid, and we easily hit 95.
Oof. Yep. And I imagine that wasn't any different in the 1950s.
So basically, you're just wearing your sweat all day.
Yeah, pretty much. Absolutely.
Honestly, in the 1950s, it would have been a little bit better than that, but there's no air conditioning.
Exactly.
You don't get away from it.
Right. Real quick. Oh, Becca. Becca answered Becca.
Hello.
Becca answered Becca. You had Lynn. Chomp Chomp had asked what pigeon-breasted meant, and then Chili went and actually like posted a definition. But go ahead and do the thing.
So pigeon-breasted is there's a specific style of corset that is called a pigeon-breasted corset because it makes you look like a goddamn chicken. Essentially, you corset in at the waist, but then it is a smooth curve from your narrowed waist out to your breast, actually usually out past the actual breast, to give you almost like a high pot belly, like a pot belly that centers underneath the bottom of your tit. It is one of the most ridiculous looking corsets ever, as far as I'm concerned. Other people might like it. I don't fucking care. It looks fucking ridiculous.
It does.
Right. Just so you know, I've only got like 20 minutes. I just thought I'd drop in for.
Thank you for dropping in.
Oh.
It's nice to have you. I need to tell Chilled that we're talking about the fucking corset, not deformities of the body.
This isn't actually a deformity. This is just people would pad their bodies to look. If I wasn't cooking, I would totally pull up some pigeon-breasted fashion plates because they are just some of the. And once you see them, you totally know what I'm talking about because you've seen it. You have. It's just you don't think about it because it's old art and stuff. But yeah, the pigeon-breasted thing is it's crazy looking. But if you look up pigeon-breasted corset, you will find some crazy looking artifacts of corsetry. They look ridiculous. They are ridiculous. Corsetry through the ages was significantly more about. It was a lot more about making you bigger to fit the shape than making you smaller to fit the shape. And people don't necessarily realize that. Because in our time, we try to make ourselves smaller to fit shapes that we want. Whereas padding yourself to fit the shape that you were the silhouette that you were trying to make was actually significantly more common, and honestly, it was easier on your body, and so it was more socially acceptable to pad out rather than shrink in. So like
I hate
the
it
whole
so much,
Gone with the
honestly.
Wind, where she's
It's so ugly.
where she's so like insistent that she needs to shrink herself down to this tiny little size. It is much less likely that an actual person of her time period would want to shrink her waist to meet that. She would be perfectly fine with expanding her chest and other aspects of herself to fit the shape that she wanted, rather than trying to cinch herself down to 18 inches specifically. So it was it is a very weird thing. It is one of those, we kind of look at that
Oh,
stuff
I
a
was
lot.
putting it in the wrong.
You're fine.
Wrong.
Okay. Chop this shit up. Where's my...
Was there something else going on though, where you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna bite people. Me and Satan, we're gonna be over here biting people.
But yeah. So I have a bunch of like really random knowledge bits. So, yeah.
Yup.
I have fun stuff.
I think Darius is done. I think.
Okay.
Maybe. I feel like I fucked up his suit sleeves, and I'm not sure why I feel like that.
Unfortunately, I can't look at it right
Yeah.
now, so I can't help. I am still...
I'm going to leave it as is for the moment anyway, and I'm going to drop that picture in the thingy thing.
The thingy thing!
Thingy thing. I like how I started with Mason, and I'm like, fuck off, Mason. I'm going to draw the pretty man.
Give me that again.
I'm going to draw the pretty gay man.
You're like, this is me, drawing the pretty men.
Yes. Also rocking an open chest. And heels. Because fuck yeah. That's why. Also someone you don't mess with because he's got a pistol hidden somewhere. Where? Fuck if I know. But you don't want to find out either. It's kind of like with Tara. If you figure out where that pistol's hiding, you're going to have some problems. Yes, she hides a pistol on her person. Somewhere. Somewhere.
Is anybody surprised?
No. Absolutely not. Well, the guy she shot dead is probably... That was his own damn fault, though. They were trying to break into her apartment in the middle of the night, so, Yep.
Such is the way of things when you're a dumbass.
Mm-hmm. Should have known better. That was literally her establishing act, by the way. When she first got into the neighborhood. Like way back, years ago, when she first got into the neighborhood, she rented the apartment above this one building, and I don't actually know. I think it was just some sort of random shop for things. It could have been a bait and tackle shop for all I know. Like it was just some random shop, and it had an apartment for rent over top, and so she, put in for the apartment for rent. And the owner and his buddy decided that they were going to break into her apartment in the middle of the night because, she's a quote, widow who has a lot of money and is just by herself. And
why are you yelling?
They found out that was a bad idea.
Who's yelling?
Yeah, so in other words, she shot his buddy dead. And then, okay. We'll talk at you later then.
Sorry.
You're good. Sleep good.
Yeah.
Or if you're not going to sleep, relax good, hopefully. Sometimes you just don't want to...
I don't know why I'm being yelled at.
Oh dear. No yelling. Yeah. So she shot his buddy and told him he had 10 seconds to leave. And he left. And so she called the police and so on and so forth. And then it was the next morning when she's like, okay, so I'm buying this building from you now. And he's like, yes, you're buying this building from me now. And that's how she got the building that is now her tea shop.
Okay.
It is fun. Fun times.
Because attacking Sarah is one of the dumb ways to die.
Absolutely. All right. Well, actually, I finished. Ooh, come here. I finished Hetty, so we've got her to look at. Heckin' yeah. Came out looking great. And started on these three. Got Darius and Adrian done. Looking fine. And I'm going through all this because I'm going to go ahead and shut down the stream. I'm not going to get off the call or anything, but I'm going to go ahead and shut down the stream. That said, thank you everybody who is watching on Twitch. I appreciate that. And you all have a nice day. I hope you had fun, and I hope you enjoyed our conversation. Thanks again to Calamity for joining in the craziness.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Being willing to join the coven and put up with our shit.
I read just about everything.
Add to the shit. That's the point. Join the coven. We have cookies and sexy people. Anyway. Love y'all. Bye.
Bye.